number one, welcome to the show. I'm very excited to be joined today by Supreme Watkins. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm good. How are you doing, Andy? I'm happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me on your show. I've heard great things. I've been watching videos, so I'm well prepared.
Awesome. Well, I was excited to have you on with me. So the pleasure is all mine. I'm going to introduce you. So Supreme is the co-owner and founder of Oktane Energy Drink and also a U.S. Marine Corps veteran. First of all, I want to thank you for your military service.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you. It's you do it for your country and you do it because of people you love, and I have two great things. I have a great country to support and I have great people around me, and I want to protect both.
Absolutely. Well, we are so thankful for your service. You know, my dad was an Army veteran, and we just are so thankful for your selfless, contribution to keeping us all safe. So that's awesome. So I was very excited to have you on the show with me today. We're going to be talking about launching a successful business along with some tips for success. So just to kick things off, where were you? Who are you surrounded with? What inspired you to do this?
So my greatest inspiration to do this specific business was my fiance, at the time, my girlfriend. She always wanted to do something that involved the entire family. She wanted everyone to be successful. She wanted something that was going to help launch both of our families and everything around us into another atmosphere, right? So one time she came home super excited about the energy drink, and that is how we got started. And her motivation was seeing me consume energy drinks or just go through fitness and how I was so careful about what I put in my body. So she saw people carrying around cans, and she said, I think we could do it better. So, and that's what I say. But outside of that, I have great friends, great family around me. I have people who are very supportive, people that have been in my life for 13 plus years, like friends from the Marine Corps. I have my close family, got my parents, so my siblings. So everyone hopped on board and they made our dream come true.
Absolutely. And I love the idea behind it, more nutritious, right?
Exactly.
And a lot of these products out there that'll amp you up, but they're not good for you,
Yeah, they'll amp you up and they'll put you in a different mental space, and it's hard to really come down, right? Like they'll pump you full of like 300 to 400 milligrams of caffeine, not knowing that the average person doesn't need that much in one sitting. That's like a day supply, and you drink that in a matter of minutes. So yeah, we wanted to be more health conscious. We wanted to give people another option rather than taking something where they don't know what's in it, right? And we found a great lab to make it come true.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, my wife works in the medical field, and she's told me stories about people coming into the hospital because they overdid it, right?
Yes.
So totally with you. I totally understand that. So what would you say are 3 keys to having a successful business launch?
So 3 keys to a successful business launch. So mind you, this is like this has been a new experience for me, right? And luckily my fiance, she started a beauty supply business before we met. So we took her experience from a beauty supply business and used it to help us launch Oktane, right? And the first thing is research, right? Everyone says it, and that's like a common thing, right? But research, like I don't even want to tell you the prices that some labs gave us. They gave us some crazy numbers. We were like, that is outside of what we're looking for, because we wanted to fully fund it ourselves without taking out any loans. Right. So we didn't take the first offer. We didn't take the second, the third, or fourth, or the fifth. We just kept calling different places and filling out the company. And we went with what's best for us rather than putting us in a bind of taking out some loans or talking to investors. We try to figure out a way where we can launch it ourselves without going to debt. And 2 is to go along with the research, have a plan, right? And stick to your plan. Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't allow others around you to influence or speed up your process, right? Like make a plan, stick with your plan. I'm talking 30 days, 60, 90, a year, 5 years. Like it's never too early to plan out where you want to be. And then 3, marketing, right? We were marketing. We had partnerships and sponsorships. So we signed our formulation documents in November. We had our first partnership in December. Our drink then launched to June. So before our drink actually launched, We were creating sponsorships, we were creating partnerships, we were creating everything we needed to create before we even got to that point. So when we actually launched, everyone knew what Oktane was, everyone knew about Oktane, and they were ready for the launch to actually happen. Like they were biting at the bits, waiting for us to finally drop it. Because you see our graphics, we had a great graphics team. Shout out to Tierra, she was amazing. Like she's the brains behind the operation. As far as like the graphics and the logo and everything, and that grabbed everyone's attention. So those three things I say is the biggest. You have the plan. I'm sorry, you have research, plan, and marketing. Those are the three things I say goes into it. And it's not that simple. It takes hours, it takes days, it takes months, but you have to stick to it.
Absolutely. Great advice there. You know, I hear of some bad stories where people didn't plan, right?
Exactly.
And also didn't get traction early either. And it's so important to get some sponsorships, clients, you know, on board. Sounds like you had that all lined out before you even opened the doors. So that's awesome. On the flip side, what would you say are a few pitfalls to avoid, 2 or 3?
Going into debt, right? Like I think that's a good pitfall to avoid, because if you overextend yourself and you step too far into just the money aspect of like borrowing and trying to get lenders, like if something happens, like, you know, you have acts of God, you have anything that may happen, right? So you want to be prepared to have a safety net. And if you have all of these loans and you owe these people money, they're going to look for their money no matter what happens in the world, right? Like they're going to want their return. So it's being prepared and not going into debt, which, like I said, goes along with the planning, right? So a good plan, you also have bad plans, right? So you have the good plan to keep you in line. A bad plan will, and like any plan that can't change is a bad plan. So you have to be able to pivot on the fly. And I guess another pitfall to avoid is thinking too large initially and not thinking about taking the small brushstrokes before you get to the big picture, right? Like a few of our early partnerships, like I'm a power lifter, my fiance is a bodybuilder, right? So our first 2 partnerships, we started with local powerlifting meets, right? And we started with smaller NPC meets to expand out. So we started with what we knew, and we started small within our environment and small within our community. And now we're in Vegas, we're going to Olympia. We have we're in gyms in Texas. We have a lot of large partnerships we've shipped overseas as well. But it all started because we started small and we started expanding out from there.
Awesome. Absolutely. Yeah. There's an expression, don't try and boil the ocean. I think a lot of people go right out of the gate and try and boil the ocean. You know, it's like you got to take it a step at a time, and great advice for sure. So what would you say as a final word of advice for our friends out there listening or watching today?
The first word of advice, I would say, drop whatever energy drink you have and join and come and grab some Oktane. That's the first word of advice. But outside of that, just from the business aspect, is don't be scared, right? Like everything, the unknown is always scary, right? Going into something that you're not used to is always going to be scary and uncomfortable. But growth comes from being uncomfortable, right? Discomfort breeds growth. Because in order for your body to build muscle, you're going to feel pain first, right? In order for your brain to absorb more knowledge, you're going to feel tired. You got to push through it, right? And you have to be able to lean into the feeling of uncomfortableness, because once you get past that, you'll realize that you have grown so much, right? Like a lot of times things come from fear or just feeling like it's not in the cards for us to accomplish something, right? Like we launch an energy drink when there's many other energy drinks out there that are very successful right now. And people ask us all the time, what makes you different from, you named a brand of energy drink. So, and we have to combat against energy drinks that's been around for 20 plus years. But look at us now, right? We didn't let that stop us. We didn't let the longevity of the other drinks stop us from actually launching our own and pushing it to be successful. We have partnerships with a power lift longevity of the other drinks stop us from actually launching our own and pushing it to be successful. We have partnerships with a powerlifting company, well, powerlifting federation, and one of their title sponsors is Rain. So I'm like, no, we're not gonna shy away. We're gonna push into it. We're gonna be prepared, because when we go to these events, we're gonna be lined up against Rain, right? We're gonna be lined up against these energy drinks, but we have to be so confident in what we put out there and know our product is good and be able to speak to it. And that is going to sell us to everyone. And for everyone else, is don't be scared. If you have a plan, if you have an idea, turn it into a plan, and then turn it into, it's like make it come alive by any means necessary, as long as you have a proper plan.
Absolutely. Fear can be crippling and debilitating. And absolutely, I believe if you've planned and done research and you got some traction early, you just push on. Change is difficult for any time.
Absolutely.
But it leads to growth, and it leads to awesome things as well. So I totally agree with you on all of that. What are the best ways for people to connect with you?
So the best ways for people to connect with us. So for me personally, my LinkedIn page is probably like my best way of connecting with people. I wasn't really big onto Instagram until obviously Oktane started. Then I started leaning more into Instagram. But with my professional life, my LinkedIn page has been my everything. So I Supreme Watkins on LinkedIn. We have our Instagram channels. We have our main page, which is Oktane Energy. We have our two support pages. We have my podcast page, which is Full Oktane. We also have Oktane Gear if you want to follow, because that's not our main focus, getting to the clothing industry, but we figured with a logo like this, you had to put it on some type of clothes, right? So we figured let's lean into that as well. Then we also have my fiance / business partners page, SIP S.I.PP. So that is her Instagram handle. We're also on LinkedIn, Oktane Energy as well. And if you want to purchase, you can purchase on Amazon, or you can go to our website, oktaneenergy.com.
Awesome. Yep. So I'm so thankful that you came on the show with me. You dropped some great advice here, and I really appreciate that.
No, thank you for the invite. And my father as well was in the Army, so you best believe when I joined the Marine Corps, he was like, "Hey, what are you doing? I didn't teach you to join the Marine Corps. I taught you to join the Army." So and my uncle served what feels like a lifetime. So but no, we definitely have that in common, and I knew I would join the military. I didn't know what branch, but I knew what would happen, and look where it led me. And everything that I've learned to be uncomfortable, to lean into uncomfortability, it put me in a mindset to be able to feel like I have the confidence to do whatever is set in front of me. And that's the way I feel. Then I was paired up with a fantastic life partner who believed in me and everything I want to do. Anything that I have an idea of, she wants to plan with me to make sure it happens. So both things are really special to me, both my Marine Corps and also my life partner.
Absolutely. I got to thank you again for your military service, and a lot of your family. You mentioned our military as well. That's so cool. And I just wish all the best for you guys. I'll be following you, of course, and really appreciate you coming on with me today. That's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for watching or listening, everybody, and we'll see you again next time. Take care.